Hello, everyone. This is the Zoom 113, and it is the 10th of January of 2026. And so I'm waiting on folks to come in, and I think I see Albert. Hello, Albert. How are you? How are you, Albert? Doing okay? Mhm. Albert, can you hear me? I think you're muted.
Good morning, Doc. Good
Morning.
morning.
I think you're the first one. The early bird catches the worm, huh?
Yes,
So,
Doc.
Albert, tell me what's going on with you. Are you still in the Philippines or are you already here in the US?
Yes, Doc. I'm still here in the Philippines.
Well, that's you have your tree. Is that your Christmas tree
Yeah,
behind you?
Doc. At my back, we were not able yet to
Take it down yet?
dismantle the Christmas tree.
I know. I'm the same though. I just need to get mine out too. But most people,
Uh,
like I think I have some friends that by the time Christmas is over, they take theirs down. And I usually
yeah.
wait for New Year's for mine. But anyway, so how did you celebrate your Christmas?
Well, we invited my relatives to gather here in the beach so that we could celebrate with my family.
Nice.
Uh, yeah, the family of my wife and my family, so
Yeah.
that it is so
Oh,
there's
wow.
fun and enjoyment
Is that what you do
with
every
both
year?
family.
You do that every year?
This dog,
That's cool. I don't know if
uh,
anybody's coming in. I just feel like school just started here. When did you get started in your school?
well, last January 5, we
Okay.
resumed our class last January 5.
Yeah, ours too. And I'm doing consulting work. And so I started the next day, which is the 6th. So I worked for 3 days this week. Now, teach me again what you're teaching.
Well, I'm teaching social studies subjects, doc. In the junior high school, I'm teaching world history, economics, and current events and issues. And I am a hybrid teacher also in senior high school. I'm teaching introduction to philosophy, introduction to politics and governance, uh, discipline in social studies,
Okay.
and discipline in applied social sciences, I mean, and also personality development.
Okay. Well, that's a lot of areas that you're teaching. That's good. How about the have you studied like here? They usually have like US government, they have US history and they have world history and then they have the state history as well. So, do you have a state in mind that you want to go come in and teach at? What state are you do you have a preference?
Yes, Doc. Actually, I have already downloaded the American history. I'm also interested to teach geography, sociology, and anthropology.
Okay. You found
I'm
the
interested.
standards. You found the standards already?
Uh, yes, Doc. I have downloaded.
Okay, good.
I'm beginning to read it.
Yeah, I think if you're familiar with it, because they're going to ask you questions, you know, see, and that's, I think it's good to not say you did Philippine history because that's not really going to help you because it's not going to be at all a course here. So even if you
Yes,
do
Doc.
teach that, you don't have to mention it because it's social studies. You don't want them to think, we can't hire him because that's all he knows is the Philippine history and it's not relevant for us. So yeah, I think
Yeah.
that was a great answer to say that. You could also include like how many years you've been teaching. Like, that would help a lot too. So which areas have you taught the most? Like how many years of
Well, yes, Doc. World history, because ever since I was assigned to teach a history subject, before it was in grade 8, but no, no, before it was in grade 9,
Mm,
because in here in the Philippines during uh, my first year of teaching, Philippine history is in grade 7,
mm,
world history, no, no, uh, grade 8 is Asian history, and
okay,
grade 9 is world history, and grade 10 is economics. And
okay.
it changed during,
Mm. Well, they so what you need to do is find a state that they're in, that you want to be in, and then go to their Department of Education. Like, for example, in our case for Arkansas, you go to Arkansas Department of Education, you can put them in quotation marks, and then you will see the website and go and look at their standards. So you could see the different social studies K-12, and it will tell you exactly the topics for each grade. So that would be something that you may want to be familiar with. But of course, from state to state is going to be different. But anyway, so that's what you need to remember. Beverly, welcome, Beverly. Beverly's new, I think. Have you seen Beverly before? Beverly Kalisai. I think this is the first time of coming on. So anyway, what are the things that you've done in order to apply, Albert?
uh, yes, actually, Doc, we have already talked with Ma Michelle in Anaya's, no, Anaya's way,
Mm-hmm.
and he told me if I am willing, uh, I could sign a commitment form with her, and so that um, she could start to post my no, no, to contact probably the school district that has vacant position, so
Mm-hmm.
that we could start also our processing in Anaya's way,
Okay,
and
well,
I'm
that's
so willing.
cool. Is it willing? What was the fees that she asked you?
Well, for the meantime, uh, last time I called her in ano ni gani in
WhatsApp.
WhatsApp, yeah, and she told me that she had already started posting my names to the districts, and so I'm going to prepare only and prepare my documents. And I told her I have already my Spantran, my um, foreign credential evaluation,
Mm-hmm. Did,
and
did she ask you to send it to her yet? Not yet.
yes, yes, doc, I have already sent to her my documents.
Okay. Well, good luck on that then. I hope she can help you, and I will also help her. So anyway,
Thank you.
the thing with the January schedule is really busy because they just got back, and then February, that's when they ask teachers to turn in like a little paperwork saying, are you coming back or not? Are you retiring or whatever? And so that's when they have this little commitment letter. And so
Wow.
by March, that's when they would know like what exactly are they needing for next school year. So that's when they start interviewing. So April, May, June, those are interview months. So be looking at some of our old videos so you can see what are the particular questions and how to answer them. That might help you a lot. So Giselle, welcome. And so anyway, so those are some things that you could do. Have you had an interview before, Albert?
uh, yes, doc, last time I was interviewed at Wildon Schools District,
Okay. Why did you think that you
and
you got it, or did you feel like you had a good chance, or did you feel like you blew it?
uh, I was actually congratulated by the interviewer, and they told me that I could sleep well. However, we were five social studies secondary teachers,
Mm-hmm.
but uh, two of the our two of the teachers, doc, are already G1 G1 teachers before, so they were
Ah,
prioritized by the school district.
okay. So that you kind of you felt a little cheated that because just because they have that experience already a little ahead of you, huh? Emilia, welcome.
Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, sometimes that happens though. Um, So, the first time to get just to get in is the hardest, but then by the time you get your experience down, it will be easier for you because you've had that down already. Um,
Thank you so much.
yeah, I have been, um, been trying to get to read all these things that are posted about, J1 and so on, part of that chat group there. Online, and there are some negative things posted out there that are trying to discourage teachers from coming. So, I would recommend not to believe them. I mean, because everybody is different. If you may be having you might be very good at discipline and they're not, you see, and they may be not good in their subject areas and you are, so it's to me it's an individual experience. So just because you read something that like essentially saying do not do it, do not even do it because it's really hard here in America to teach. I mean, that's not a fair, I think that's not a fair thing to do because it's their experience is their experience. Yours would
Yes,
totally
sir.
be different. Yeah. So yeah, don't let those naysayers, the negative filter people, to discourage you from wanting to come, because we are all needed here at the schools in the U.S. I had a meeting, online meeting, with my
Yes.
former boss at the Department of Education, and he now worked for some company, and we had a good visit, and they really were wanting to know like how can they help international teachers, in their journey
Yes.
here. And what I said was the TOEFL, the Teachers of English as a foreign language test, is really hard for international teachers to pass. You can pass speaking and listening easily, but when it comes to the reading and writing, because English is not our native language, that we struggle. Teachers struggle, and I've seen so many teachers in Arkansas, for example, that Arkansas is one of the states that would require a TOEFL test. They would move to Texas or other places, Louisiana, other places that do not require that particular test. So I suggested, because they also have that testing company, representative to attend. I felt so honored that here's this four men with all kinds of degrees and all that they invited me to speak to them. And they said that they're going to see what they can do. And I said, if you just like not limit the time or giving them extended time, that would really help, because a lot of times what they tell me is that they know how to do it. It's just that they run out of time. They would read half of the whole, for example, the reading section, and then their time is up. So that's why you don't get the score. Same thing with writing. So,
Yes.
so I suggested that you should give them more time, because that should give them a little more chance of passing it. So we'll see what happens. That was my 2 cents worth to put in. Yeah. So anyway, I would recommend, if you really thinking that of coming, for example, to Arkansas, where there is a TOEFL test that's going to be required, go ahead and take it in there at ets.org. ets.org is where you find the test. Um,
Yes, sir.
most schools here will be needing for you to do the praxis test. So the praxis test is also at ets.org. So when you go to ets.org, you just put praxis, and then you're gonna have to read and see which of your area. Like elementary, for example, elementary teachers have to take a test in math, literacy, science, and social studies. And there's also a test that's about $90 or close to $100 each. But there's also a test that will cover all four areas in one at one time for 4 hours. I would not recommend that. That's too overwhelming. That's too much. You need to like start possibly with math because math is a universal language. Start with math, and in that way you can kind of see the format of the test that way, and then study for the next one. English, you need to make sure that you get the standards. You can just go to www.ccss.org, Common Core State Standards, because most of the states are really referring to that, to those standards. So at least you can kind of see what are the things that are tested. If there are some literature there that were suggested to read, you may want to read them because you may be asked questions of specific literature. And in science, of course, you're going to go and get to science standards, and then try to see what what are there that needs to, excuse me, that you should know. And of course, the social studies, should be easy for you because you are social studies major. But for those that are not social studies major, you need to review U.S. history, world history, and also state history. So
Yes.
no, I think for the praxis, you may be just asked, not the state. You may just be asked the world and the like, the wars, the World War One, World War Two, all those major events, and then the um, the yeah, to world and certain time too. There's certain time from this era to this era. So if you look at the standards, it's going to tell you what era is being addressed at every grade level. So, but they're going to be taking, I think in the past, I don't know if they've changed it, that it always was grade 4 level and then 5, 8, and then 9, 12. So you get to choose which one. So you're going to have to, for the elementary, of course, you're going to be K6. For the high school, be thinking of 7, 12. So that's
Seven,
what
12.
they,
Yeah.
yeah, 7, 12. But of course, different schools have different ways that they set up their school. Some school has like one of the schools that I taught at, or I was an administrator at, they had like a kindergarten building, I 1, 2, 3 building, 1, 2 building, and then 3, 4 building, or 3, 4, 5 building, and then they have 6, 7, and they have 8, 9, and they have 10, 11, 12. So they had 6 different buildings. But some schools, like in my local area, were small. We have a building for K6, that's elementary, and we have a building for 7, 12, and that's the high school. And they're usually just close to each other. But it depends on the school, or on the size of the school, is how they would determine how they cut up those grade levels. So that's a district decision, it's not a state thing. It's mandated, that they would have certain type of tests, but the way that they set up their buildings, they're going to decide it on their own locally. You have any question, Albert?
Yes, Doc, I would like to clarify, Doc, about the praxis test. At what was it in ATF? What was the
ETS,
the
ETS, it's Educational Testing Service, so ETS,
ETF?
ets.org. Let me
ETS.
yeah, let me put that on chat that now. So
Thank
it's
you so much, Doc.
yeah, www.ets.org.
Mm,
Okay. And
WW.
what and then once you get there, just type Praxis, or I don't remember if it was showing already, but type Praxis under the search button, and then type your area. So because there's going to be so
Yes,
many areas. So then you, of course, you're going to choose when you found the area, you're going to choose what level. So for example, if I
yes,
found social studies, you're going to see, are you going to need to take K4, 4, 8, or 9, 12, for example. So pay attention to that because you don't want to take an elementary test and then you are high school or vice versa. Okay?
yes, Doc.
And another thing to watch is make sure that you have that alignment, that if you have, if your credential is a high school, your experience should be in high school, and your test in praxis should be in high school. You cannot be like mix it up, okay? So just make sure you
Yes,
have
Doc.
the alignment. So
Thank you so
anyway,
much.
yeah. ETS.org, same thing with TOEFL, TOEFL. You just have to type TOEFL right there on the search on ETS.org. ETS.org is the source of lots of testing for teachers. And so
Mm.
if you have, you can take this from where you are in the country. So if you're in the Philippines, for example, you can just find out where their testing centers are. They're going to be all over. And but they may also give you the option of doing it online at your home. Here in America, here in Arkansas anyway, we have some tests that the students can act or teachers can actually take it from home, but they have like lots of things to get ready for. We have to ensure that it is a safe test where you won't be able to look up things. So I don't know if they have to download some specific platform. I do not remember how, but I know my son Jet took it. He was a computer. He was going to take his license as a computer teacher because his degree was in computer science. And in order to be able to teach, if you have your degree, you can teach in America. You just have to do. They call them alternative pathway. So you are alternative plan. So if you are a math major but you're not a teacher, you will go like get your masters of arts in teaching. So
Yes.
then they will pretty much giving you an opportunity to do your student teaching, but it's hands-on. So while you're teaching students, you're already getting paid, but you're getting credit for like that's part of your internship. Like you are actually, getting grades and stuff. So usually you meet on Saturdays and or at night, and then yeah, they're gonna use your experience in the classroom as part of your like a student teaching experience. So that's what they do
Yes.
here, as long as you have your 4-year degree. And so then you can take the test. So you can find out if you are allowed to take your test at home. But I think, as far as I know, a lot of the folks, like Giselle, may be able to answer me. Giselle, what was your experience on ATS testing? Did you have to go to a testing center?
Yes, Doc, we have a testing center here in Cebu City, Doc.
Okay,
Have
where is it
one
at?
in Cebu City.
Is it part of a school or what?
It's just a building. It's just like it's also the testing of all other areas, Doc,
Oh,
that
okay.
is going to go. Yeah.
Oh, so you
So
but you just searched it online and you found it?
no, when I applied to its.org, Doc, they already have the address there, so you're going just to choose where you are.
Oh,
It's
okay.
already there in the site.
Oh, okay. I didn't know how that works. Okay. So I think here we have different centers, so we can actually have a choice. Like you can do, for example, for us, there's one in Jonesboro, and which is about 2 hours from here, and there's one in Little Rock, which is 3 hours from here, and then there's some in Memphis. So just whatever places that's closer to you is what we would do. Yeah. Okay. So
Uh,
Albert is
um,
yeah,
Doc, I would like to add that there are areas in the Philippines that does not have um,
testing center.
testing area. That's why, if you have remembered, we met with Ma'am Lovely, and
Hmm.
some of them because they have to go to come here in Cebu to take TOEFL, Doc.
Oh, okay. So
So
sometimes you have
yeah,
to travel to Cebu or Manila,
yeah,
possibly.
yes. I think Negros
Um,
and Mindanao does not have testing areas.
Oh, okay. So they
yes,
just
ma'am.
go to Cebu. Okay. Well, that's good to know. So those cost money. I think how much was the praxis? How much was the TOEFL was about 200, right? To 10,000 pesos.
Yes, Doc, I think I paid 8,000 something for
Yeah.
my TOEFL.
Uh,
And for Emilia, that's about $200, whatever the conversion is in your country. So that's $200 is what it amounts to. And but praxis would be so important if you're really serious about coming to America, or anywhere in the States really, is do your praxis already, because that's something that you cannot get around. Everybody has to take that in order to get your license, reciprocated. So because you get reciprocity from our country, but they really is more initial license, they call it. In order for it to become a provisional or standard license, you need to pass praxis. or TOEFL if that is required. Arkansas has one of the toughest states to get a license because we have more hoops to jump. Like we have to have some extra science of reading. We have Arkansas history and all these other things that we require teachers to be able to fully be certified, the standard license. So some states are not going to be as strict. So you can find out what each state does based on find the state and put Department of Education.org. And no, Department of Education, just put, for example, Texas, you put Texas Department of Education. And just make sure you put the quotation mark so that way you won't see all these other choices. You have to see the whole thing, Texas Department of Education. And just look under licensure. So if you see licensure, then you could see what the requirements are. Make sure you look under reciprocity, or because the others that will show up will be about what Americans that are living here are for, but the one for reciprocity from another country or from another state, that's where you need to be, and that way it will list there the requirements, and so you could kind of compare which state are you really going to want to come into, so to choose a state, what would be, let me call somebody else. Thank you again, Albert. Emilia, let me see, Emilia. Emilia, what kind of
Thank
things
you
will
so
you
much,
be,
Doc.
yeah, thank you. Amelia, what would you consider? Let me see. Let's just say, please, since we don't have a specific state, what can you use for praxis? Um, praxis gonna be honored across the different states, Emilia, but do not just do a praxis without like contacting that state. They usually have their email address. So yeah, contact that information of the contact information under licensure. So email that person in charge in that Department of Education and ask them, can you give me the code number for praxis I need to take? And this is what, they may ask you to send them a copy of your of your transcript or something, or Spantran. I don't know which one, but you can ask them and see. I'm interested in getting my license in your state. What are the code numbers of praxis that I need to take? So they will tell you that, and that way you won't be wasting money because there are different codes that they will tell you, and so anyway, I think contacting them would be the best way. That's what I would do. Good question there, Emilia. So, anybody else that would have a question? We are talking about licensure that in the Philippines and I don't and Emilia's country, there would be reciprocity. That means that you don't have to start over and go to school here. It's your degree, your license from the country is already honored here in America, but they just have those extra tests that you have to take in order for them to really give you the official license. And some states are easier than others. That's why, you know, um, the Maryland, I think the Maryland Department of Education, the New Mexico, and the Illinois are the three states that are easier to get some license from. And so some of them, once you get those three that are easy, you can just use them then to do a reciprocity with the other states. But if you're gonna know of the 50 states, those are the three that I'm gonna pay Illinois, which is where Chicago is, Maryland, that's close to Washington, D.C., and then New Mexico, which is by the desert. So those are the three, I listed the three states that are easier to get licenses from. Okay, any other question? We got Leonore, we got Beverly, and Mike is here. Here, Mike. Finally, the last two times Mike came in and it was late because we've been in here 30 minutes. I'm gonna be trying to discipline it where we need to be out of here before like an hour and a half is what I'm thinking. I have to go somewhere today. So,
Yeah.
and then next meeting, which is the 24th, it's my husband's birthday. So I know I will have the house full of people. I will have the kids over. So I will definitely be doing a short one. So, but I didn't want to skip because we skipped last time. Hey, Mike, do any update on your paperwork? on your staff, Mike?
No update yet, Doc. I'm
Oh,
still waiting.
is have you contacted with the appropriate administrator, and do you have a
Yes po.
yeah?
Yeah. And she gave me an update that they will try to reapply it again. Probably next school year.
Okay. Well, if you need to work with Michelle, with Shay, uh, hers is, I'm gonna put down here, what's that? Michelle dot E at anayasway.org. So I put michelle.e at anayasway.org. That is Michelle, our partner, visa sponsor. She will be able to help if there's, especially with more complicated situations. I know, Mike, yours is becoming more complex now, I think. Right, Mike? So tell us how you're doing
Yes, Doc.
anyway. Now that you're there waiting for you for to come back here, what are the things that you and your wife are doing? It sounds like you're doing a lot of business stuff.
Yes po, Doc. I'm starting my backyard farming, raising
Oh,
some native chickens,
wow.
uh, Rhode um, Rhode Island red chicken like
Oh, you have
that,
to
and
take
then of course
pictures,
we have
Mike. Mike, take pictures and
yeah.
post it.
Yes, po. I
Yeah.
already have the reels of that, and also yeah, our fish pond here, the tilapia,
Uh-huh.
and some few hito catfish, the African catfish.
How long is that the fish before you can harvest and make money?
They said it can be 6 months or five to 6 months. It depends upon the way you feed it,
Yeah.
feed them. Yes, po, the setup.
Okay.
Because
So,
we are using concrete pond, so probably the setting that the maintenance there is different from earth pond.
ah, and is
Yeah,
the
and
is
since
the
and yes,
concrete pond is
and
better?
since we are starting it without any training, I'm just watching some videos, reels, asking some questions. It seems like a trial and error, but
Really?
so far, yeah,
Yeah.
so far tilapias are growing.
Yeah. How about
And we are expecting that this February we can have our first harvest.
exciting, Mike. Well, I love fish. So anyway, so I have a pond in the Philippines that right there by the ocean actually. It's a fish pond, but you could put water on it to build a house. In fact, it's a subdivision now, so it's becoming expensive now. But I was really at one time considering putting fish in there. But now they want to buy it as a lot. So but so how big is your pond? What was the dimension?
Um, it's excuse me. It's 3 by 3 by 1 meter and 4 by 5 by 1 meter.
20 square meter. Okay, so that's about so that's not too big then, right?
Yeah, but the capacity I already put how many? Probably more than 3,000
That many.
fingerlings.
They're out fingerlings. So are you gonna be dividing them in different sizes then because they're gonna grow and then they're gonna be separated from each other?
Yeah, actually, um, the supplier where I got them, they told me that it's better to have the sorting, but we need also, or I need also to avoid the stress for the fishes, for the fish.
Mm.
Yeah, for the tilapia because they can easily get stressed, especially if you're going to change the water,
Uh-huh.
uh, the change in the temperature.
And you had it built. You had to start from the beginning. So you had the concrete pond built,
Yes, doc.
like building a swimming pool, except it's a
Yes,
pond.
it's like a swimming pool.
Yeah, except it's a pond. Okay. And
Mhm.
how about the feed, Mike? Is it how often do you feed them?
It's 3 times a day po.
3 times a day. That's like having a child.
Mhm. Yes po,
Okay.
yes doc.
So you are
Same as feeding also for my chickens.
chickens.
For
Yeah.
my chicken, yeah. And also I'm so happy because for the first time I hatched some chicks
Yeah.
from the incubator.
Nice. So
Yes
you
po.
bought the
That's my
incubator
first
there, or
time,
did
yeah.
did you bring it here from
Yeah,
here?
no po. I bought it.
Okay. And you
Mm-hmm.
hatch them. Did you get the one
Exactly.
that would turn
Yes, po.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Every 2 hours.
Yeah. And then so did you have like all of them hatch or how many what's the
No,
percentage?
it's out of 12, it's seven,
That's not bad.
7.
712. That's
Yeah.
749. Yeah, that more than 50%. So
Actually, it's 8. It's 8.
812.
The I have one mortality. Yeah.
Okay. So 812, that's two-thirds. So that's 67%. Yeah, not bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, po.
But that would but I bet the kids are enjoying it, huh?
Yes po, yes po. And
Yeah.
then aside from that, I divided the eggs. So my two hens, one hen hatch how many? 8, 6, 11 chicks.
Whoa. And now
Yeah.
you're gonna have
That's
more
why I
more
have now
coming.
18. Yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah. What do you how did you fix up your like fence and area? Do you have like a fenced in area and then they have a little house to go in at night? Because here in Arkansas, I don't know if you're aware, but here in Arkansas we really have to have them come in as safe little house because the coyotes or other things would get them,
Mhm. Yeah.
the possum and
Yeah
all.
po.
So do you do that there too? You have to hide those
Yes
chickens?
po. I have that also here.
Okay.
Actually, I did not range them yet. They are still inside the chicken coop.
Okay. Hmm.
Yeah.
Remember,
In the evening,
yeah.
I put some tarpaulin on it. I cover it
Okay,
because
covered.
today is January. It's cold here, so since
Mm-hmm.
some of my my chickens doesn't have the vaccination yet,
Okay.
so that's one of my preventions
You have to do
to
vaccination. I
cover them
don't think we
every
do
night.
that here in
Yeah.
Arkansas. But remember that little building that I had Mike in my yard near my garden, the yellow one?
Mm-hmm.
Remember that? And one of our friends had hit that with our four-wheeler. And so anyway, so Dwayne had fixed it, and I told him I'm gonna want it to become a chicken house. And he said,
Mm-hmm.
"Okay, that sounds good, but I need to get the walls back in because that's when we whip. I was in it, and then she was driving so hard, and we went through it, and so we were in the middle of it. So now the walls, one side of the wall is like gone.
Mm-hmm. Yes, po.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna fix that and I'm gonna put chickens there. I don't want to do it during the winter because I don't want to go out in the snow and to fix it. So
Yes,
I
po.
want to wait till the
Mm-hmm.
spring.
And
Yeah.
also the chicken.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
will
yeah.
probably whether they cannot stay outside or probably inside. You need some heater or you need to cover it.
Yeah. There will be there should be insulation. So it will be like a little house, you
Yes, po.
see. Yeah.
Yeah, a little
So
house.
anyway, but that's
Fully heated.
exciting. Is Mabel also doing cooking some food because she was such a good cook?
Yes, po.
She also
She's
doing
still
that?
cooking,
Yeah.
especially before I think Christmas and New Year. Actually, before New Year, before Christmas, she has a lot of orders,
Nice.
and yeah, and then New Year's, 31, I think 30, 31, 1, 2, and 3, they still have some orders.
Nice. But the thing is,
Yeah.
are you pricing it okay? Because I would think that I would like convert it to dollars and like, okay, that's just
Mhm.
$2. And I would be
Yes
doing
po,
that.
yes.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
hard, I
She's
think.
the one who is pricing it because
Yeah.
if I will be the one to price it, probably she will not, yeah, she will not have any profit because I will be, hey,
You
so
price it
much,
low?
so much. No, I'm the one who is cooking that. I will be the one who manage it.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, you need to have your own thing, I guess. Yeah,
Yes
that's
po.
when
My
you need to,
participation is just tasting it.
yeah. Yeah. I'm
That's my
so
participation.
Yeah, you're very both of you or all four of you are very resilient. You're not getting discouraged, which is good, because that I did not expect that you will be staying that long away. I thought, a month or two you'll be back here. And so I don't understand what happened. I guess it's just a bad timing whenever all those, US changes have, immigration changes happened. Especially, that week, Mike, when they did that 100,000 on,
Yeah,
on
yes.
green card, that
I think
happened like
four
right
days
that week.
after, yeah.
Yeah,
Four
that week
days
that you left.
after I arrived here, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes po.
Yeah, but
And
you,
then Doc, what I'm worried about is almost it's almost 4 months that
Mhm.
I'm not already in the field of teaching. So that is what I'm worried about. That since some of the schools here are, I think it's already 2 to 3 months. It's already end of the school year here in the Philippines, so I cannot apply that anymore. So and then if they're going to apply and I will be hired next school year, so it's almost half a year. No, it's not already half a year. It's almost September. It's almost 10 months that I will be not in school or in the field of teaching.
but I don't think that would
So
be. I don't know. For J1 it will be a problem because you're supposed to be currently teaching, but you are still gonna be under. Will you be applying for another? You can do another H1B, right? You have to go under J1.
according to some visa sponsors, I need to wait for 2 years.
Oh, really? But
Yes po. And then one I think one agency or one who is that a visa sponsor told me that it will be a very tough thing to do if I'm going to apply for a J1, because the immigration or the consul will keep on asking, or probably they will question me, hey, you're already on the residency pathway or in the green card pathway, why are you still like um it's not, how do you define it, downgrading your visa, because H1B and J1 visa are different.
right,
So
right.
probably that's,
Yeah, but I
so
thought
I
that.
need a lot of or strong ties here or documents that will
Mhm.
support that I'm going back here after the program.
Mm.
But they said I need to risk. I need to risk on that.
Well, I think one way, a big one, Mike, is just to come here by yourself, and then your family there is the biggest connection you could make. Like you may be,
Yes, po.
yeah. So if you like, for example, I don't know if the girls want to be separated or not. Like if you take one kid with you, and then maybe later on, after you've been approved, you can have a Mabo follow. That's what the strongest connection is, family. Because you will have to
Mhm.
come back because your family's there. And then you could also show that we've got all these businesses, all these little side jobs that we have to come back. So you're established there with all your farming things and so on. So those should help you. So you need to make sure you have documents and all that for those, some pictures and things because um what the H1B visa, I thought that it was already turned in, so it should not affect you with 100,000. Were you affected with 100,000? I thought that it only affects new applications. Would yours be considered
I
new?
think based on one agency, because I also asked that question.
Mm-hmm.
They told me that that the 100,000 is only for non-cap exempted company, and the schools are cap exempted, right?
Yeah,
So we are exempted from
from that
$100. Yeah,
100,000. Yeah,
that's what I said.
that's 5 million pesos. So that's good then. So but
So
if your old
hopefully,
school will be hiring you, it should still be H1B, right?
yes po, that
Yeah,
is their plan.
yeah, because J1 will be out of the picture for you because you have to be teaching the current year.
Yes po.
Yeah. And have you contacted Michelle about it and see what she would, because
Yes
there's,
po. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, we have that. We
did she
have
suggest O1 or
er,
O something, or there's an
yeah,
EB
the O1.
visa? Yeah.
Yes po, it's the O1 visa.
Yeah, but I think you really need to make sure that if that is really clear about old school, your former school sponsoring you, that needs to be really clear, Mike. Is it a yes or a definite yes or no? Because you need to know your path. What am I gonna do next? What's my next option?
Yes po, yes po.
Yeah.
Yes
So
po, because if I will wait, or if I will keep on waiting until July or August, if they will apply it or if they already applied it. The hiring month here in the Philippines is April, May, or they will start at March. So of course, if I really want to go back to teaching here in the Philippines, so I need to start also applying here in the Philippines, probably in a private school, so that
Yeah,
it will be easier for me to
leave.
resign
Yeah.
or
That might be your option, Mike. That's what I
oh,
would do. It's like a backup plan for
yes,
you.
po.
Yeah, that's what I would do because
Yeah.
yeah, it's harder with a public school, but private school you should be able to pick up and go, right? Yeah, I'm sorry you
Yes
had to.
po. Except they will have a two year contract because that is what their other some of the private schools here are doing. They will have a 2-year contract to all the teachers or to the new teacher applicants here so that
Mm.
they will not leave.
Ah, well, sometimes if you have friends, administrative friends that are they're gonna try to work with you. So if you know of someone, try to just talk to them like, hey, this is my situation. I really need to, I need this job, but are you gonna be flexible that if I have an opportunity to get back, will you work with me on it? Just I would say transparency, especially if they know you. Transparency would be better than trying to hide it.
Yes
Because
po.
a lot
Mhm.
of times they're supportive. They're supportive of it that you are trying to get better. It's 10 times the money. So who's not gonna want to go for it? Yeah. So anyway, but Mike, don't be discouraged. I'm so proud of you that you and Mabel and the girls are staying
Yes
busy.
po.
Yeah,
Mhm.
you did not do pigs, huh? Pigs pigs are fun to watch too.
Not yet
They're
though.
they're nasty.
Probably soon
Yeah.
once some of our business partners
How many partners do you have?
arrive soon. Yeah,
How many
we
partners
got
do you have?
three.
Three. Okay. So those must be your former teacher colleagues here, huh? That's cool that they are investing. Awesome. Okay, so thank you, Mike, for that update. Mike, as most of you know, is always my right hand here, and he's in the Philippines. Paperwork things that he had to take care of. So anyway, how about Leonore? Leonore, are you new?
Hi, Doc Merlina.
Hey,
No,
you
I'm not
two of them.
new.
I have met you before, yes. What is in the update with you?
Yes,
What's
as
up
of
with
now,
you?
Doc, I am still working. I'm still working for my papers, my FCE, because this is the most important requirements they are asking for me.
That's right, foreign
I also,
forbidden. Hmm.
yeah, I also do editing my resume and my cover letter,
Okay. Well,
and I'm still
feel free to
working
send
on
it
it.
to me if you want to. It's McCulloughMerlina@gmail. I'm gonna type it on
Yes,
the McCullough Merlina at gmail.com. So if you can send it to me, I'll be glad to do that. Or you can go to chatgpt.com and just there's a plus sign there on the left. Upload it, upload it and say correct or rewrite this professionally and it will do it for you. So it's
yes,
amazing what AI can do now. So and if you're not happy with it, you tell it to correct. You can have it correct as many times as you want. Okay. So I use
yes,
it
Doc.
a lot. I know my students that I was working with this week, they said, Dr. McCullough, I can't believe you use Chat GPT. They made it sound like it's so bad, because some of our younger generation really are really against it. And so this ninth graders were like saying that. And I'm like, well, you have just like on anything, tools, they're tools. So you could use it for the good or for the ugly or for the bad, but teachers are using it for the good. But students, because you're still learning, I could understand why your
Mm,
teachers don't want you to use
yes,
it. But we are now adults. We are now teachers. We've gone through what
yes,
you're still going through what we've, gone already. So now we can use it. But you have to still learn how to use it properly. That's why I explained to them because they just made it sound
yes.
like I committed a mortal sin by using ChatGPT. Like, no, don't be that way. But sometimes it's also
Uh,
reflecting on how their parents feel about it. So, but to
yes,
me,
Doc.
I'm not. My two kids though are so against it. Mom, don't use it. That's evil, Mom. And I'm like, especially of those things that, that you're asking back, you're asking them questions like,
Excuse me.
yeah, I think there was a situation where supposedly a child asked, like, should I kill myself? And yeah, I said, yes, don't tell your parents. That's the answer. And so that's why it wasn't like a big deal. And so, and then I think one of my students said, Dr. McCullough, do you know that you could ask, like, how many children died because of AI? And I said, what's the answer? And it said, this is a classified question.
Yeah, it's a very big influence,
I know, right?
especially for the students who have weak emotions.
That's right. And I'm telling them, I said, well, that's what critical thinkers are. You're gonna make
Yes,
decisions, and if you are gonna be so confused and it's too complicated for you, ask for help from a teacher or from a parent.
yes,
Do not
mm,
just handle it yourself. So
yes,
anyhow, or I said the counselors at school, that's what they do they really have been trained to know what to tell you and to guide you. So
mm,
feel free to use them. In America, of course, they're free. So, we have guidance counselors at every building. So they can always make an appointment and talk to them if they really have something bothering them. And I'm always encouraging my students to do that. And as a teacher, I would rather have them take care of that and their emotional need, because they can even learn anyway with their, amygdala blocking, because it's not going to be ready for learning. You have to have
mm,
that love
yeah,
and security feeling before you could learn. So as
yes,
teachers, we need to remember that, your social emotional learning skills that you do in your classroom, those are really important. And at least the US and the Philippines and Nigeria, African countries, they're not in the top of like the number of suicides, for example, for among teens. I think Japan is one of the top ones. I think there's a lot, like up to
mm,
25 years old, because of the stress that they have to go through. And some of our
yes,
cultures are higher pressure than others. And so
pressure, yeah.
yeah. But I don't remember us pressuring our kids. I mean, I remembered my parents, my dad was so kind of mean to us, but he was always he was always motivating us to like do well in school because we're poor, and these are the only way that you could get out of poverty and all this. I'm not going to have very much or anything to pass to you, but education will never be taken away from you. Those kind of talk were
Mm,
the only ones we got. We were not like beaten up because we had an A or we have a B or C. You know, um, I always joke that B is an Asian F. But no, some of our parents may do that. I hope you're not doing that to your kids, because
no, 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 doc.
it's not enough pressure. But they have enough
Yeah,
pressure as it is growing up, with their identity
yes,
crisis for us to add. I've been watching
mm,
those K movies and Chinese movies, especially the K movies. They're showing some of the
yes.
the school shows.
Especially
They
the
really show,
K-pop, the case,
yes, they really showing
Korean novella.
yeah, how stressed the kids are, because they go from the regular school and then they go to another school and they go to another school and they won't even go to sleep till
Yes,
about 10, 11, whatever, just finishing their school things, the cram school. So anyway, so I said, well, for one thing, in the Philippines, we can't afford them. But we don't do that to our kids. We still have, time to play. And I think that's really important, for our kids to have that balance, right?
yes,
Yeah.
balance. Yes, doc.
Yeah. So, well, how many kids do you have yourself,
I have
biological?
only one daughter, doc.
Okay, so how old is she?
She's 15 years old.
Okay, no, that's right there when that's the
Yeah,
age 15, 16, where we are just a bunch of dummies. Even to them, they just know it all.
we're
And
just like an
however,
advisor to them.
yeah, however at a good the child is, they will go through that
Yes,
intermediate stage where mom doesn't know anything, dad doesn't know anything. And then, when we get smart again is in their 20, like when they're 25 or going to 30, then we're smart again.
yes, you cannot tell them
Yeah,
that you do this, you do that. No, mother, I know what to do. Just you
I
just
know.
listen.
Oh my goodness, yeah. Yeah, talking back at that age is really big. I
Yes,
remembered my mom would like get the slippers and would hit me because I would be like talking back. And so later on I learned, like, okay, I don't need to do that to my mom, because you have at that age, I remember feeling like you have to have the last word.
yes,
And
yes,
you
doc.
don't need to do that, but as a teacher, I think we need to understand whatever age level that we are teaching,
Mm.
are they on that stage? So which means that are we kind? Are we using kind tone and
Kind
voice?
words. Yes.
Yeah, big or
Yes, Doc.
kind words, because if we're not, that's when they react. If
Yes.
you are being mean to them or being bossy, they don't want to be bossed around. They don't want you to tell them
Yes, Doc.
what to do.
Mm.
So I would make it a question form. Sweetheart, what do you think about this? I would make it a question form instead of like, hey, Stephanie, do this, or Jet, do this. I would say, hey, Jet, how about what do you think about this? Or I would make it a form like a suggestion or a question with options. I would make it that way, and that works with students too. Just to
Yes,
me,
Doc. I remember.
yeah, using questions more powerful than using statements. Always works
Yes,
with
Doc.
parents. Parent-teacher conference. If you want to tell them about their kid, I would make it, have you thought about this? Or have you considered this? I would always kind of
Yes, Doc.
make it like that.
It's very
Otherwise,
effective.
yeah, it's very effective, because otherwise it made it sound like, well, who do you think you are? You're not going to be telling me what to
Yeah.
do with my child at home. So I would always say things like, have you tried this? And I always think about the glow, grow, glow. You're praising the kid, and then you tell them, okay, you might want to work on this, or your child might need to work on this, and then another praise. So they're leaving your classroom feeling good because you started with good and you put the little ugly in the middle, and then you go another good. And so it works every single time. I've used that for years, and I have happy parents coming and leaving, because you just have to remember that glow, grow, glow, and asking questions instead of
Yes.
yeah.
A statement.
Yeah,
Like,
and this is a good interview question as well, with angry parents, remember about, listening and
mm,
taking notes and giving it back to them. This is what I heard you say, and you
yes.
repeat it to them. And then
Mm,
telling them about, so what is our next step together? What do you think is our next step? So then what do you see? How do you see it resolved? Because remember, we're partners in education. So let's brainstorm and see what you think would be a good solution to this. So anyway,
mm,
things that you've tried at home,
yes.
so anyway,
Mm.
so I think that's kind of what you do to win your parents over. What are other things that you've done that to win your angry parents over? We don't really have that much in the Philippines,
Yes.
angry parents, do we? Have you experienced it?
Uh, yes, Doc. I talk to them. Yes, Doc, many times. I talk to them, especially when their children have this call from the guidance office because they do something wrong in the classroom.
Uh-huh.
And then I talk to the parents first, and then know what is that, what, how is this child, where is this child coming from?
Mm-hmm.
And then I learned that most of my parents, most of the problem of my students are they are broken family, separated from their parents. That's why they always telling me because we have a family problem.
Mm.
So that's they're always issue in their family problem. That's why they're doing like this, doing like that, the stuff that the teacher always always think that they are doing something wrong.
Mm.
So when we
Yeah.
talk about their parents, yeah,
Yeah,
this is where
because
they're
they're
coming
sensitive
from.
already. Yeah, they're sensitive already about that topic, right? And so anyway, so if they're gonna feel that bad inside, and here we add to it, and that's when it really explodes, because it's already been
Yes.
boiling inside anyway, and here comes more that we add to it, especially
Mm.
for like nagging teachers, like to nag.
I
Some of
am
us,
guilty for that, doc, especially
some of
my
us
last
are
period
nagger than
classes.
others.
I
We're
always
not-
nagging my students. Then the second day, I keep quiet and then ask questions instead of saying statement. It's very effective.
Yeah, yeah, statement. And also, just really talking to that child individually. Like if I had a child that I felt like, oh my gosh, I should not have said what I said, like maybe that hurt the child's feelings,
Yes.
I would look for them in the
Yes.
during recess. I would look for them and kind of just visit with them and kind of get that back, your relationship fixed, because you don't want to
Mm.
isolate that child and, you know, you
Yes.
became a bad teacher to that child instead of a role
Yes.
model
Yes.
because of that one situation. So I said, well,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't mean to be hurtful. I didn't mean to sound mean, but this is what I meant. He said, oh, yeah, I understand, Dr. McCullough. I'm like, okay, well, good. I just want to make sure of that because I want you to be able to come to me and all this if you have any questions
Mm-hmm.
or problems. But yeah, so you that's the building of relationships, right? You high school, right? Or
Yes, Doc. I agree. Yes, Doc. High school, grade 8 students.
oh yeah, see, grade
Grade
eight,
8.
that's the time when they have all those identity crises. So here in America,
Yeah. Yeah.
they are like so busy
Yeah.
with
Some
boyfriend,
of them are
girlfriend.
playful.
Yeah,
Yes. They're
yeah,
more on crushes.
uh-huh,
Yeah. Or on puppy love.
yeah,
Yeah, they're very interested when you are when I'm always injecting a love in my lesson about relationship. They're
hmm.
very excited and they're very attentive.
They are. Yesterday, I had a little moment. I had this we were doing some story and I always talk about what's the theme, what's the lesson, what's the message you learn from this. And so I said, okay, we're going to be creative. I'm going to use because we were doing poetry. I said, I'm going to teach you a acrostic poem with your name. So I put an example was Merlina, Merlina. But I'm going to give the theme, the message that I learned, but I'm gonna use the little letters of my name, and then it created the whole message. And so I was like, that just came to me. But I said, well, you can use this acrostic poem someday, or soon with your girlfriend or boyfriend, making, if you're giving them a card or something, make an acrostic of their name, and then tell them what you feel about something, any message that you
Yes.
want to give them, but use their names. It's very special because our name is the most special thing in the world. That's why we don't need to misspell it or mispronounce it. And so anyway, so the boys especially were like so excited about it because they were gonna have some girls that they were gonna yeah, they were gonna make acrostic for. But things like that is a creative way to express, something. So I just that thought of that. I said I always like acrostic, but why can't I just incorporate this to my literacy lesson? But then at the same time, they're gonna use this strategy in real life,
Mm.
about love things. So anyway, yeah.
Yes, Doc.
Yeah, I would say things like someday when you become you have a
Yes.
boyfriend, girlfriend, or a husband, wife, this might be something you can do, make sure that you do this. So I would kind of do that, on my as part of my lesson, is that go beyond that, like go to the real life.
Mm.
And I think sometimes our lessons we don't get there, but I think as teachers, we need to
Mm.
strive to like always make your lessons go above just being a student. Go above how can they use this in real life? Because that's when retention happens, is because they see
Yes, Doc.
this is useful, so I'm gonna remember it. But if they
Mm.
don't see any use for it, they're gonna delete it. It's gonna be in the short-term memory. But if they could see an application, they said, "Oh, I better
Mm.
remember this." So
Yes.
you kind of have to, yeah. Do you do that? Like when you're studying something, I would always say things like, "You should know this because." The so what part. This is important to know because. And that's when you really get their attention because
Yes, Doc.
yeah, the application part. And I think sometimes when you do your lesson and you don't say that, it's gonna get deleted. Okay. So as teachers, try to always give the so what.
Yes.
Why do I have to know this? Because especially the
So
math, I
what?
think they're always gonna say, "How am I gonna use this?" They would always ask that question. It's like, don't you use math? Like you use every
Yes, Doc.
and all this, but because we do not use the so what part when we explain the lesson, as we start the lesson, you tell them what they're going to be learning and then tell them why is this important for you to learn. It could just be as simple as,
Mm.
well, you need this as a foundation because, for example, simple math, because when you get to algebra, you need to be familiar with all the
Mm.
four or operations because you're going to apply this when you go to algebra. In high school, in order for you to go college, you're gonna have to pass that algebra test. And so anyway,
Mm.
so you still have to give them that connection, I guess, the so what part. You have a
Yes.
question for me? Who's trying to get into whatever. You said you have
um,
FCE is what you're doing. Which company are you using?
I thought of Spantran Doc, Spantran or West, West,
Spantran.com
uh,
is, yeah,
Spantran.com.
yeah, Spantran.com
Yeah,
is what,
I'm trying to working out of this requirement because
yeah,
Gay Bailosis, the one who emailed me yesterday, he is asking me my updated resume and my cover letter and
uh-huh,
my FCE. So
yeah,
I replied the email, and I told him that I am still working on my FCE.
yeah.
And
And it's $200.
Gay Bailosis,
Yeah, $200. So if
yeah,
you have a credit card or something, that's what you could charge
10,000 in
pesos.
peso.
Mhm,
10,000 in
$100.
peso.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, don't wait on that because that could be maybe the only one that's stopping you from getting a job. So make sure that you
Yes, Doc.
uh, think of it as like, well, this is an investment that I'm making for myself. I'm going to get this, 10 times. And a lot of times, some schools are actually, if you keep the receipt of that, if it's license related, that you could have it reimbursed by them. Some schools have extra money sometimes where they would
Mm,
give you money back if it's relating to praxis or other tests that they require, as long as you have a receipt. So keep it, because some schools would have extra money and they would say, hey, is there something that we could use it for? And you say, hey, does the school reimburse us for anything relating to
mm,
licensure? And a bunch of the schools, especially, they feel sorry because you really need money when you first come in. They're very good about saying, yeah, let's reimburse you. The important thing is having the receipt. They can't reimburse you without the receipt. So keep the
yeah.
receipts if it's license related.
Yes, Doc. Thank you. I'm looking for a TOEFL exam, Doc, but I also I also looking for IELTS. So
Yep.
I am
ELTS
planning which the two of is
is
uh
better to take.
helpful. Yeah.
Well,
TOEFL or IELTS.
both are good, but what you need to do is work backwards. You need to look at what state you're going to go interested in going, and
Okay.
then go to their Department of Education and then look under their licensure requirement. Go with that.
Mm-hmm.
Say, for example, if you're really interested in
Okay.
Florida and California and
Okay.
Hawaii are the best places because the weather is like the Philippines or like Africa, and so they are really really good weather, and so people are going there. The standard of living is high though, expensive, but the that's something that you could consider is if I want to go to Florida, for example, Florida Department of Education, I need
Mm,
to see what the requirements are and then go from there. So that's what the first decision is, to decide on which states you want to try. Okay, and then
okay.
always visit their Department of Education because that's where the licensure information would be located, and also the standards. The standards would also be one
Okay.
that, and everything school related will be in that Department
Mm,
of Education. Yeah, and every state has it, all 50. So
okay, Doc.
yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Anyway, yeah, I think if I gave you, I don't know if Giselle can put it on the chat. That 50, that multiple states, Giselle. Um,
Yes, Doc.
yeah, job listing. If you can do that, I think there is a list. There is a link to all the Department of Education in that file.
Yes,
If
Doc.
you can, yeah, if you can post it
Mm,
here on the chat.
oh,
I have the 50 states. You link on it for the top 20 in every state, and then you go where you can apply directly. Plus, there is a file there with
thank you, Doc.
all the Department of Education. Yeah, from all 50 of them. So that would be cool to have. So you don't have to look for it. Yeah.
Thank you, Doc.
Yeah. So anyway, sounds like I think you're gonna be good on the interview because you look happy, you look like friendly.
Doc, because I'm always listening to your Zoom meeting. I'm just a listener.
Oh, you
I'm just listening your interview with different teachers here,
well,
and I'm just waiting for my time to be asked and interviewed by you, Doc.
okay, so let me give you one.
You
Okay,
know,
let me give you one. Put you in a spot. If I were I fly in the wall and watching you teach, what do I hear? What do I see? What do I observe?
so in my classroom scenario, I want my classroom to be
No, you need to answer it
a
this way. You need to say, you will see. Yeah, if you were a
You will
fly in
see.
my wall, this is what you will see. This is what you will hear. This is what you will, all that. So you need to start with that, saying that way it sounds like you answered my question. Okay, so take part of my question first and then use it for you.
Okay.
Okay, take two.
Okay. If you were okay, if you were a fly in my classroom, you will see my my lessons written on the board or in the television. I I I I make sure that my objectives is clear to my students. You will hear you will hear my you will hear my lessons and how I teach my lesson to my students. I praise my students. And what's the last question, ma'am, Doc?
What do you hear? What do you see? What do you observe? Just,
And you will observe that my students are behave, and I'll call their attentions if they are not attentive. So I will go back to my lesson and make sure that they are listening and can follow my instructions.
okay. That's I don't know, 6 out of 10 answer possibly. But what you might want to say is as you come in, flying in my classroom, you could maybe see me just coming in because I'm by my door greeting my students. So I would be coming in, my students will be in, and they would already have their bell ringer, 5 minute, 10 minute bell ringer on their desk, and then they're already starting it or it's already on the board and they're already starting it because I have established the routines and procedures my first 3 weeks of school that this is what they're going to do when they come in. They go straight to they're going to go straight to their bell ringer, and then while I'm doing my little roll call and lunch count and whatever, my little housekeeping things. And then when I get done
Mm,
with that, I'll go monitor around, make sure they don't need any help or whatever. And I pull some kids that might be struggling with it. I might be pairing some of them to make sure they are successful. And then once my lesson starts, the my standards are written on the board. Well, it could be a learning, you could call it a learning target, starting with I can. So I can statement where it's student friendly standards. So I can identify the theme of the story and explain whatever. So it will be the standards, but it is written in a student friendly. So we would go and we would go over that, and then I would tell them the rationale. Why is this important to know?
mm,
For example, in literacy, I would say it's important to know because as you are reading
mm,
for pleasure, you need to make sure that you identify what would be the lesson that I got from this, or what kind of characters are they? Are they dynamic? Are they
mm.
round? Are they, so I would kind of give us a rationale of why am I learning this, and then after that, then the kids are gonna be, I'm gonna be doing a mini lesson for maybe 5 or 10 minutes, and then they're gonna be I'm having them work with their partner because I'm gonna do the
Mm,
GRR, gradual release of responsibility. So I'm gonna be doing it first myself. I do it as a teacher, and then we're gonna do
mm,
it together. And then after that, for extra support, they will be doing it with a partner. And then as all these are happening, I am always monitoring, giving feedback. And then later on, when I feel like they're ready, then they can be doing the independent work. And while students are doing independent work, I'm right there in the back table pulling the kids that I need to do some differentiation, some help, extra help. So those are some things that you, and in my classroom, you would see some, my bulletin boards would be relating to the lesson. There would be some student work, some excellent work, and all this with my comments and, exemplar. So you can kind of show them what they hear, what they see, but then they could see the step of how you do your lesson. Okay? So process with me.
okay,
What were the things that you would have added
thank
to
you,
your
Doc.
answer? Yeah, what could you have added to your answer when you did it originally that you could take from mine? What are things you can copy from mine?
Okay, you can see the standard that the standard or the lesson for today, that day. I will I will let my student I will gave them time to the GRR, the group release. We can
Gradual
say
release.
the group release,
Gradual release
gradual release
of responsibility.
uh, responsibility, or what we call the group activity. And afterwards, I monitor their activity, and after that, I let them present
Good.
their their output, their activity, and give some feedback,
Good job.
good feedback, positive feedback, and also monitor the students that are look for the students that are not very cannot follow the lessons for that day,
Are struggling.
and gave them struggling students, and gave them uh, a very clear or a very low less activity that he or she can follow the lessons, and maybe can pair to the students who are good, and can uh, peer groupings that he can or she can follow the lessons correctly. And then I
Very good.
also want to them to I also want them to give their reflections about the lesson for today, for
Very good.
that day.
Very good. You got it. You've been listening. You've been listening to
Yeah.
some of my videos, I can tell. But
But
yeah,
I
yeah.
rephrase what you're saying, Doc.
Yeah.
Not exactly the words that you're saying.
No, 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 no.
I'm
You
rephrase.
got the gist though. You got the gist. I love the presentation of the output. I love that. You need to also add like I also will ask the other students to give comment or feedback, but I will model it
Yes.
first. I will model the glow grow feedback,
Yes.
and all this. And then because
Yes.
I want all the students to pay attention. Yeah, a lot of times I'm
Mm.
actually, whenever there's a presentation, I actually will give my students, like I always recycle, right? So that's pieces of paper that we need to recycle. So I cut them in fourths, and I will give everybody a fourth page of a paper, and then they will write the presenter's name on top, and then they will put their comments on it, their glow grow comment, and
Yes.
then I'll collect it and I will give it like a present to the presenter, and they love to see that because they could see what the kids are saying, and so they love it.
Yes.
So try that. If you have not tried that, I would like for you to try it. I did it one year where I took a picture of my students. So they have their own little stationery. And so then we have so that little kid's picture already there. And then I just distributed it to everybody's got their own. So they have their little stationery. And so they wrote their words in it. And then I rolled all the papers and I put little bow and I gave it to them like a Christmas present. I did that one December. But anyway, yeah.
It's like a gift.
Yeah, it's like a gift because they love it. I'm telling you, especially
Yeah.
working with
Opening a gift.
yeah,
Excited.
with partners or a group of three or four, and then let me
Yes.
see it. The only thing you need to remember, don't give them their feedback while the others are still presenting because they're gonna ignore the next presenter. So
Yeah.
give them at the same time.
Yes.
Yeah, so put them there, put them on your desk, and then when everybody's done, okay, then start delivering those, or ask a student to help you to deliver the comments. And then everybody looks at the same time because if you don't do that, you're gonna lose this group that that were looking at the
Mhm.
feedback. But yeah. So anyway, but those kind of questions could be asked of you, but they really are
Yes.
testing is what kind of teacher are you? How do you do your lesson? That's what they're trying to find out. Okay.
Mhm.
So just remember we address a lot of the bell ringer. We address about being by the
Yes.
door, greeting your students, and
Yes.
commenting on them, acknowledge your students, and then we addressed about your bulletin board with the exemplar work. That's a standard right there. And then you address
Mm.
about your getting your standards in a student friendly language and giving the rationale of your lesson, and then giving
Mm.
mini lessons. And so when you are talking gradual release of responsibility, is that you are doing it first, and then we're guiding them with together,
Yes.
and then before
Mhm.
you give it to them as a pair first, and then maybe then individual, then while they're doing it, you're also doing differentiation. Okay, so
Yes.
you're helping the students that are struggling, or you're making
Yes,
sure
Doc.
that they have a partner, because and you could include this, the research is saying that students are actually more effective in helping others more than a teacher, because they speak kind of their own language, and they are actually more effective in mentoring students.
Yes, Doc.
Yeah. And so what I do in my classroom is that if for my early finishers, like for you gifted kids, they always get finished first. So I always in my classroom, I would make them a mentor. So the mentor then, I mean the mentee, the people, the others who get to choose which mentor can come and help them. You know, my struggling learners get to choose mentor one, mentor two, whatever, and to empower them that they are the ones that chose, you know, which kid is maybe get along with or, you know, they can that could help them. And so anyway, so those, and then how you exit at the end. You said, okay, at the end I wrap it up, I debrief about the lesson. You know, the debriefing is explaining what they should have learned or whatever, and then maybe the exit slip before they leave my classroom, they're gonna have to tell me one thing they learned. Well, three things that you learned, two things that you're gonna share, and one thing you still have a question on. 3 to 1. You could do something like that. So some kind of exit slip. So you're covering from the beginning, middle, and end of your lesson. And then include
Yes.
also what they see in the classroom. Okay. So yeah, I think we got that.
Thank
And
you, Doc.
yeah, any question on that, anybody? I thank you so much. You have been such a friendly face that I could just like you encouraging me, like, okay, keep going. That's a good
By
one.
the way, Happy New Year,
Happy
everybody.
New Year, everyone. Yeah. So anyway, so you have any more question? I guess I will ask
No more,
Emilia if
Doc.
she has I love also
Okay, Doc.
talking. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Enjoy talking to you, Leonore. There's another Leonore here, by the way. Emilia, do you have any question, any update for us coming from your end of the world? I don't know if Emilia is. Are you just listening? Still muted.
For now, I don't have any question.
Okay, you don't have any question. Okay. So that's cool though. Look at that. You got green trees. Our trees are dead. Our trees are dead here in Arkansas, girl. You making us
Okay, we have a lot of trees around.
no. I know it always reminds me of the Philippines too, because here, everywhere you go, it looks like, those painting with just twigs, and no leaves. That's what you see everywhere here, unless it's an evergreen. But yeah, it makes me, it was 2018 before COVID when I went home. So every time I see like Africa, I see Philippine views, I'm like, oh, I want to go home. I want to go, I want to go visit the ocean. Anyway, how far away are you from the ocean, Emilia?
We are closer though.
Like how many
We are,
hours, minutes?
let's say about an hour.
An hour? No,
Yes.
jealous. I mean, you know what mine is? Florida is about 14 hours.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's all day drive. Yeah. So it's see you have to go past, from Arkansas we go past Mississippi and we had to pass by Alabama and then Georgia, then we get to Florida. So I always remember MAG. Yeah, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, and then Florida. So pretty long ways to Florida. But it's better. I like flying better than I would driving because it's too far. Too far. I think if there's a bunch of you, like when I took teachers to Dallas, there were 14 of us. So it actually was cheaper to like get a van because there's so many of us. But if it's just one or two of you, I think sometimes it's cheaper to just fly. Yeah. Here in the US, we have some Southern Airways and some cheaper flights. Allegiant Air, some of those are cheaper airlines that you could use. Okay, so we have about 6, 7 minutes before we close up. So I thank you, Amelia. I always enjoy listening to you. There's a fees that if you want to talk, a fees.
Hello, it's me again. How are you doing?
Oh, there you go. Yeah, you and Amelia are just awesome.
I listened to you talking
Yeah. So what is your
about how
input?
far you have from the ocean.
Your half an hour?
Like I'm telling you, I literally live on the ocean.
Oh, I'm so jealous. Oh my gosh, I'm so jealous.
I type
I'm,
it in the message section.
oh,
Like I live on the water. Like I breathe water. I live water.
I don't want to
Too
hear
much.
it. I'm so jealous. I know because you're in the Virgin Islands. So yeah, that's
Yeah, I
understandable.
can just take a walk down to the ocean now. Like I could literally take a walk down.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
in
something
five
I really
minutes, I'll
miss.
be there.
Yeah, being from the
Yeah, five
islands,
minutes.
that's what I miss a lot. So yeah, that's the first thing when I go back. We always have a beach party. And
Yeah.
yeah, because yeah, all day long right there, by the beach and rent a boat. So we'll be in a boat. The last boat that we rented could fit 34 people. And we actually nearly
Mm.
filled that up. That's how many people were trying to like, okay, hang out with us. And then my brother, he's a chef, so he prepared so much food. And then we stopped by this island, and then we actually cooked the food. There's a little grill there, and we actually because he
Okay.
prepared it in a cooler already, and then we just bought some of this hanging rice, and that was so amazing. That's a very good memory. And what amazed me was this boat. There's so many of them, right? And they're all trying to stop by this island, and they were just connecting boat to boat to boat to boat, and you have to like go from one boat to the next to go. And I'm like, gosh, you cannot be like, you better be sober because you could fall down, because this boats are skinny. They're skinny, and you just go from this boat to the next boat. Sometimes you would be 5 boats over, and then you have to go to the front of the line. So that was new to me because I guess whenever I was living there, we didn't do that. We would rent a boat, but we don't go to some island. We would always just like, go around, around,
Yeah.
around and stop. But on that one, because there were so many of us, like few of our friends and family, that was so fun. But the thing is, it's so cheap there. So, so we could afford to have that many people come with you. In
Yes,
America,
yes,
it's like,
yes.
oh, think about $10 a person. Yeah, you don't have that there. So it's pretty reasonable. It's pretty um affordable. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
anyway, so that's what we have today. We will meet you in 2 weeks, and that's my husband's
Yes,
birthday.
I joined late.
Um,
Mm.
yeah. So you
I
you
joined late.
you what?
Yeah. I joined very late. I've
Yeah,
been
it's
busy
okay.
too.
Yeah, you just watch the
But I'll
video
watch the
later.
video over. Yeah, I'll
Yeah,
watch the video over.
yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. Do
All
that.
right. See you in 2 weeks.
Thank you. In 2 weeks. Yeah, everybody. Thank you so
Yeah.
much for attending.
I
And
know you need to go now.
yeah,
Take care of yourself.
bye.
Bye
Yeah,
bye.
we had a good meeting. Yeah, thank you. Bye bye.
All right.
Thank you so much, Doc.
Thank you. Thank you again, Giselle. I guess we
Yes,
lost
Doc.
Mike left already. Okay.
I
All
think he
right.
has no
Bye,
signal.
everyone. Okay.
I'm going to
Bye,
end
Doc.
this.
Thank you so much.
You're gonna do what, Giselle?
I'm gonna end this
Okay.
one.
Yep. Yep. Please. Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you,
Doc.
Ma'am Giselle.
Okay.
Thank
Bye.
you.
So
Thank
much.
Bye.
you.
Thank you, Doc.